And we're live. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, I missed getting to this one last week. I should have made it on Saturday, but I kind of messed up my sleep schedule through the week, and Saturday it came back to kick me in the ass. So that happened. But between being sick and all that, that's mostly all gone. Well, I say mostly, it pretty much is all gone. Just the slightest little bit of sniffling left over. But back in Sorin's journey, we'd left off. We defeated Innocence, Valkyrie, the last of the Lightwardens, and restored Night to Norvrandt for all of 3 minutes. Seems Sorin can't quite handle all that light. And, well, the eternal day has returned. There has to be something we can do. Hello, sir. Oh, sir, you're awake. You were injured during the foray on Mount Gulg, yes? I was here at my station as always when they carried you in on a makeshift stretcher looking disturbingly bereft of vigor. And to compound my worry, the sky has, well, I'm sure you've seen, has everyone rather concerned to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you mayhap consider a stroll around the city to reassure our anxious citizens? Bragi was one of those who helped convey you to your chambers, and he has visited several times since to inquire after your condition. Of course. Reassure everyone, eh? With what? I don't quite know what we're supposed to do about this. I have to believe we'll find something. There has to be some way to stop this light. Was Graha's plan really the only way? Hello, Bragi. Well, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. They told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor Exarch away in the middle of the chaos. Wicked White, what is this world coming to? Ah, moaning never solved a thing, did it? Nay, it's times like these we Castellan folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade with Yulmore's back on the table. We'd best make use of those resources to fortify our city against eaters or whatever misery the fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Kezimal was worried sick about you. A healer ring in her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, let me tell you. Right. I'll go see her, Bragi. Thanks for all your help. He's right, though. We'll find some way to pull through. I think the first goal has to be... we have to get Graha back. Emet Selch said something about waiting for me at the Tempest. I don't know if I quite want to follow anything he's suggesting, but if he's got Graha, that's our best bet. Kezimal? Oh, sweetie, you're alive! Oh, no one's been allowed to see you. Even Spagiric's chirurgeons were forbidden from making visits. Reen was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to Eta corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I'm worried to see their faces grown ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake. And when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse of exhaustion. And our own Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet. Too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. Thank you. I'll go check up on him now. Everyone else has been... How long have I been... Is everyone still out there trying to find some solution? And I guess however long I've been away, this means they haven't found anything. Gra's been here for what, nearly 100 years with this plan of his? Sure, if he could have found a better option, he would have. Is there really nothing we can do? Morin? Oh, confound it! This is the same thing as the last. Maybe I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Morin? Oh, Sorin! Is it truly you, and not some figment of my imagination? Oh, but this is wonderful! It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the Lightwardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definitive conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. And now that you are awake, however, I am hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. A catalyst, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle. Though against what foe we are as yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Right. Yeah, I suppose everyone then has kept it a secret what's happened to me. What is our options? If I can't return to the source like this, that would just bring the problem to somewhere else. I don't know if I have the same technique as Gra to trap myself in the rift. I can go to and from the source, but I don't know how to stop in the middle. If I'm like a Lightwarden and me just dying won't do anything, the light will just transfer to whoever's closest. Catalyst? Sorin, alive and well, I see. You gave us all a proper fright, you know that? Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying about what's to become of you or the Exarch. Anyway, I'm glad to see you're recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still for a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Of course, if I can help out. Hello, Mooney. Welcome to the stream. Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we need to experiment with different patterns and materials. I'm not sure we have that kind of time. That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Hello. You were... I'm sorry, your name's left me. Greetings, Glenard. Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is. I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies are the perfect answer to this predicament of yours. And by genius, you mean old Grenold? He is a man of unrivaled gifts, I won't argue if you dare. But what good does his talent do if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide nor hair of Grenold since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. That does make things difficult. Grenold. I feel this name's familiar. Still, if that eccentric is someone you're destined to meet, I'd wager he'll show up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Grenold, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance, rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh? Right. Resting. Yeah. Oh, before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a regular who's eager to see you. Oh, right. I'll stop by as soon as I can. I'd best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which this city was founded, or the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to. Right. Have to get him back. If he'd planned this far ahead, he must have some other idea, right? Sorin, are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This downable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often liked to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. Oh. Right. Maybe I will. Suppose there's not much I can do before seeing the others again. Don't have any clue where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do in this situation. Uriange or Ishtola might know something about this tempest that Emet Selch talked about. I'd always ask Moren, but I feel things need to be kept between us at the moment. Everyone here has enough on their plate. So, this is the place. You do certainly get a good view. I'm not surprised he liked it up here.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight.
Oh, a little soon. Hartbert?
I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
That's right. Feels like it's all going wrong. don't know what to do about it.
Aye. An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you.
Did you feel the same?
You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out.
Say that again.
But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet.
I want to believe that. Has to be something.
I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives.
That's right.
One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest.
Oh yeah, congratulations. I need to go back and watch Magica Magica at some point. It's been years.
There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen.
You
That we'd made
What
one
that
last
much?
mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive.
That's right. If it survived you thought it was over. But it carried on.
Well, come on then.
I can do the same. This doesn't normally happen.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence.
Wait,
My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours.
wait. What do you mean?
I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish.
That's...
For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you.
Yo...
So, let us be about it, hero.
Thank you. We'll do this. One way or another.
I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you,
Beowulf?
grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie.
I guess not even she can see him. Hello.
Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours.
Sorry about that.
My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you?
I don't know if there's much to be done.
Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle.
Wait. Seal myself like Titania did?
Fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them.
That's... not the outcome I'm looking for.
Look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion.
Right then... why offer it?
Besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling. You are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place.
That's... thank you, Phil. Right now... what is there?
Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue.
See myself as Gra saw me? It's...
You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
What the Exarch thought of me? I don't... maybe I just follow her advice. Find out more about him from the people. Graha's been here a lot longer than I... for a lot longer than I knew him. Hi, Zem? Oh-ho! I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro. Actually, I wanted to ask about the Exarch. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I am happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in this city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion, and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, He even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, "Because one day, the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived." Is that... It may vanish as quickly as it arrived. Seems that one Dragon Ball. Oh, yeah, I mean, it would be kind of fun if Ardbert was still around in some sense, but it is nice as well. He kind of gets his closure. So like Ardbert, like, he resolved to end his life 100 years ago by his time. Everything else he's seen since has just kind of dragged that out. He seems fully content with the fact like his story is over. Hi, Cassard. It's been a while. Oh, Sorin, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. I was wondering if I could ask you about the Exarch. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, then it'd be Captain Lina, I'd say. She lost her parents to an Eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lina, she'll be at her usual post at the Ascensor Gate. That's right. They did seem fairly close. As close as anyone seems to be to the Exarch. Maybe Moren might know something. If there's any records kept about him or the tower. Hello again, Moren. Oh, was there something else you needed? If you've come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you about the Exarch. Records pertaining to the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade had passed since the coming of the Flood when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon thereafter. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or Vobertites fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together did they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it would seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Thank you, Moran. That's... He arrived with the tower. Does that mean... I hadn't thought about it before, but if Gra knew me... And he was from... He was sealed himself inside the tower. Then does that mean that Crystal Tower is from the source itself? He apparently struggled so much just to bring me here. How did he transport the whole tower? Captain? Sorin, I was not told you had awoken. It's just today, ma'am. A welcome surprise. Now, if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Right, you don't think you ever got around to changing Kimchi's feather color? Oh. I'm guessing it's more red you're looking at? Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Calusia, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the Umbilicus. This room is in the heart of the tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. Gotta make him ready. A room that only he was allowed to enter? He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the Umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions. But the battle with Valkyrie loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Sorin. I need to know what he feared. What battle you and your companions are truly fighting. That's... I'm sorry, Lina. It's not something I can share easily. Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Well, actually, I was wondering if you could tell me a little more about him. Ah, I see I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Right. I suppose there has to be something there. If he'd go as far as to forbid anyone from entering it unless... If it was just a barrier, there'd be no need to be so secret about it, right? Come, meet me in the ocular, and I will unlock the door within. Right. What could he have been hiding? Well, I guess we're going to find out. Right. Oh. Hello there. Master Sorin, the captain said to expect you. Right. Captain?
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter.
Oh, sorry for keeping you waiting.
Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
You're not going to join us? Right. I guess he's still respecting his orders. Books. Lots of them. No shelves for them, so this is clearly not where they're... What's... that's... the echo! This is... Oriange.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then. By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
He's from the future?
Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest.
So, the calamity did or does happen? At least in the future he comes from, So...
In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice.
How long did it...
But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass.
So...
The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me.
So that's... 200 years before he ever got out.
By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th umbral calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware
That's
of the
right.
consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread.
Wait, me?
Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the warrior of light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live.
That's...
I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First.
That's...
Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward. even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Lightwardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die.
It
Knowing
really
what I
was
know
his
of your
plan from the
companions,
beginning.
not to mention your champion. They will try to stop me, but in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the rift.
So, Urianger didn't actually see anything? It was all just part
Is this
of...
truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course.
That's...
I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
All of this was... for me?
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case.
That's...
What do you mean to do?
I'm going to save Graha. If he went so far to make sure I live, I'm going to do the same for him.
Then we should be on our way. Dacian mentioned the Tempest, did he not?
You...
That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere.
You know where it is.
Beneath the waves.
But how do we get there? Well, I'll always swim. Lesson of Decosian works in this world. Never gone quite that deep before. Oh. Captain? Did you find the answers you sought? If there's nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I was wondering if you could just give me some directions quickly. You wish to know the way to the Tempest? You mean the sea itself and not the island of Calusia? If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an tomorrow, but... Thank you. That's all I need. Do you mean to leave right this moment? Alone? I am not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I shall await your safe return. Thank you, Lina. Maybe this is what farewell meant. Anything that happens to me, that's still in the future. Right now, I have a friend who needs saving. Excuse me. I'm looking to head to the Tempest. You require a tomorrow? Just a moment and I shall saddle our swiftest beast to fly you to the island. I'm not looking to go to Calusia. I want to go to the Tempest itself. The open water? To the depths of the Tempest? Our Maru can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor... Once we're out there, I think I can manage on my own. I assure you I can swim quite well. Not again! Not now! gone?
Ah, we have found thee.
Urianger, everyone? I
Word
wasn't...
reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste.
I wasn't trying to run away or anything.
Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
I have learned a few things, yeah. Have you shared with the others?
Shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I guess so. Urianger?
I offer no excuses.
That's...
When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare.
you really...
It's not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
You... really come with me? You do all know how dangerous this is, right?
I understand the precarious nature of thy condition. Nonetheless, it is my wish to remain at thy side for as long as I am able.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea.
Reen?
Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here, at least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
Every moment we're here, Reen...
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize?
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple.
But...
We've all searched, high and low, for an answer. And every one of us came back empty-handed.
That's...
I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
Alize...
We will go with you as well.
Everyone?
There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue.
Sure.
Lead and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement then?
Thank you, everyone.
Is there aught we can do to help?
Everyone? What are you all...
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
Did we ever tell them?
You told them?
No. Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
I suppose it...
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions.
I suppose there were a few too many coincidences for them
Long
not
had
to...
he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive, and I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, 'twas clear it was no ordinary visitor.
That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
That's...
That's right.
Here, here.
Everyone.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
That's...
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O warrior of darkness?
Well... So that's what they were saying. Keep this place safe. Need to make sure the Exarch has a home to come back to. Alice? Just so you know, I will not look kindly on any further attempts to leave us behind. We do this together. You're such a main character, Eva. Pretty easy to figure out. Yeah. I once said that I wanted to fight for Stinian. That I wanted to save him, not let him be sacrificed for a cause. And now I say the same to you. Right. We saved him when we thought it was impossible. There's... has to be a way. Bankert? Gods know you've spent enough time charging into danger on our behalf. It's only fair that we return the favour. Galway? Galway? Hello, Chaz Kramer? The volunteers who journeyed to Calusia have all been safely returned to their homes. They've also assured us they will do their best to hold the Eaters at bay in our absence. So, it sounds like here we'll be safe at least. There's nothing I can do to cleanse you of the light's corruption, but I'll do everything in my power to keep it in check. If the Warden's ether overwhelms you again, you will become a Sin Eater, so please, save your strength for when it really matters. I will, Reen. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro for thy journey to the open sea. I fear the following dive down onto Emet Selch's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. I suppose, but do we have a better idea? Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. Right. I don't think we have time to wait. Thine affairs are in order. Then I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. Right. One of the Fae? I guess the Quaff, maybe. They seem to have some power over water. But it's only other than when Faeul led them to Mount Gulg, she's the only one I've ever seen outside of Ilmeg. I'll trust Urianger knows what he's talking about. Somewhere... Where are they? I can't see them. Oh, there he is. Urianger? Where are the others? There, to the west. Canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? I can. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it looks kind of familiar. That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayst glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. Right. I guess I can... see what this is about. It does look familiar. But it's just an island, right? I suppose I've seen islands before. Right. There's crystals down there. Those don't look too different to the ones around the Crystal Tower. They're... okay, this is looking... even further odd. Almost like it's... a creature. There's a mouth there. Is this island like a dead whale? Yeah, this definitely looks like an eye. How long would it need to have been here for an island to grow on it like this? And this is... this doesn't feel like rock. Keela, give me a quick lift. Right. Definitely seems like an island from up here. Even seeing it up close, I'm not sure what's so special about this island. I'm beginning to have my suspicions. Banquet? Locals call this the Isle of Ken, which I presume must refer to knowledge. Either that, or someone was being awfully zealous about marking his territory. I suppose. Alice? Did Alphino get over here okay? This lake is enormous. Assuming my geography is correct, this would be the Mirror of Silvertear back into Source. Although the size hardly compares. It is pretty large. Are we sure that doesn't just lead out to sea? I can't see the others about here. I guess we're just waiting for them. Urianger? Well, what hast thou discerned? Of all these ones, I do suppose, yeah. I mean, this might seem weird, but it brings to mind Bismarck. Most perceptive. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Wait, this is Bismarck? Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the Source. I would enlist its aid to bear us unto the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication. Right. I suppose that's a plan. If it works. And we're sure this entity is still alive?
Wir Sach, Bilang Bismail.
That's Faye, right? Hello.
Fallen si lor wislan. Ada si alinal.
Van urs atslir. Olfod thim. Iri guath.
Glad for the echo.
Dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
Well, he seems just a bit tired. Glad for the echo in moments like these. Is there... Wait. Farewell. Farewell? I need your help. You complained last time I didn't call for you.
Oh, my snake, Yak! You've learned to call me at last!
Yes, I suppose I have.
And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can.
Thank you. We're... Oh, I guess she's put...
Yes, Bismail win picked. Van dromi drom yakum.
I guess she must have been listening in on us.
Van red rithye.
Ahai una. Sahawin wilsk. Isnerim. Sur vierlo.
Even Bismarck obeys her?
Scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. It's only good manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight.
Right. Thank you, Fail.
May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
That's a new one. Oh. Oh. Off we go. Where do we hold on to? I guess we have this little cave. Oh. I guess we're going by air. Hopefully this doesn't give the people of the Crystarium any new worries.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
What the? Do you see that?
Oh boy. World's not quite back to normal yet, boys.
What a monster! Where did it even come from? Whoa there! It's not stopping.
Should probably move.
Run! Run!
Vanana Anna Tilden Sito Iri Halmsi Funne
Cheese morsel. Oh, it's cheese morsel now. I misheard it once, and that's all I'll hear it as. Thank you, Bismarck. So... Ugh. Okay. Not quite how I'm used to flying, but... Could have been worse, right? Everyone okay? It feels... dry enough.
Wow.
This is... Tempest.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
The Tempest. The music. So... everyone's okay? I dare say Urianger endured much playful attention from the pixies to learn the lore of Bismarck. He is nothing if not a dedicated scholar. Think you can say that again. With all that water out of the way, we'll be able to venture quite some distance. Emet Selch must be hiding around here somewhere. This is amazing. I can't even see the surface. Yeah. I imagine there's still a lot of water above us. Hopefully this breath holds out. Bismarck must be powerful indeed to create a dome of this size. I can only pray to whichever gods are listening that it continues to hold. Yeah, you and me both. I remember being impressed by the domes of the Ruby Sea, but this makes them look like bubbles in a stream. Well, Urianger, you've brought us this far. Any ideas on where to go next? Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the tempest safe and dry. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emet Selch, and, I believe, the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee under the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboureth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find him. Right. Yeah, I suppose when you think of it that way. If we find one, we find the other. Well, anyone got a plan? No, that's where we should be looking. I rather doubt Emet Selch will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches, and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Right. I suppose... Yeah, if this is where he's making his last stand, he'll probably have something. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. So he must have somewhere large enough as well for it to be able to be kept dry. Emet Selch himself aside, being underwater, I imagine, would probably still kill Graha. Everything okay? I think Thancred has the right idea, but I can't help but wondering what Emet Selch could be doing down here without the aid of gills and fins. You sure? The ocean floor is a strange place to be, of course. But this ether is like naught I've ever seen. This outcrop seemeth natural enough. I suppose we are looking for something unnatural. Also, I kind of see it there. I won't get distracted by my hunt marks. It's definitely different to the bottom of the Ruby Sea. Wait a moment, that doesn't look natural. That's definitely man-made, but what's it doing down here? It's been here a while as well from the looks of it. So, for all the stones grown over it, it doesn't look that worn down. No, there's more. If there was ever going to be an undersea stronghold, that's looks like one. Let's just try and keep away from the wildlife. I'm sure it's not too happy that it's lost all of its water. Is that a Sahagin? Wait, no, Alphino mentioned this to me. Ondo. they're friendly, right? Excuse me. Are you okay there? You're looking a little off. Are you feeling okay? Sir? I guess I can follow after him. Hello? Hello? Feeding our people is more of a challenge these days. With every catch there are fewer fish, and so we must consider alternatives. But one thing we will never consider is leaving this place. It is our sole refuge from the killing light in the depths. Right. They seem friendly enough. I hope I didn't scare that guy. I think that's the same one. Is this, like, their leader, maybe? Hello? The finless one! They followed me! Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? About that... Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? This is their chieftain. Hello? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? Emissaries of the Ancient Ones? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? I'm not so sure. It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. Right. Apologies. We've kind of caused some problems for these people, haven't we? So, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emet Selch's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return. We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Sorin, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain our all-too dramatic arrival have thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I have nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. sure. Is there any way we can split up? I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Ascians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. Well, I suppose this is back to business as usual. Help people out, earn their trust. Then it is settled. Y'shtola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Alright. So, off to look for people in trouble. Hopefully with all of us, it won't take too long to... is that... an aephorite? It's huge. I don't think I've ever seen one this large. Ah. So, can't afford to get distracted. Alphino? Sorin, you won't believe who I just bumped into. This is Pao Sorin, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. Oh, hello. I waited and you did not come. Then the mist still came, but his visits did not continue. Oh. I am truly sorry, Pao Sorin. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps... Where a dry return, a cavern to the north, is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. Ah, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Sorin? If you've not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. Oh, right, of course. Sorry about all that with the trading. Where the dry return is filled with crimson coral. We imagine its branches to be the veins of finless ones. The cave a resting place for those who perished at sea. Ah. It's a... resting place for those who perish at sea. Alphino was right about it being a little ominous. Well, I've been to more dangerous places. Just because the name is a little spooky doesn't mean there's anything to be concerned about. Red coral, is that the entrance? Well, it's definitely red. Oh, are these the crabs they were talking about? Well, let's get to work. Shouldn't be too difficult to deal with a few crabs. Keela, do you want to help out? There we go. These are pretty tough crabs. No wonder the Ondo are a bit nervous about them being able to keep pace. There we go. One more maybe should do it. Haven't seen Alphino about here. Come on. Oh, careful. Right. That should be enough. What have we got here? It's... It isn't... It's kind of a nice place to look at. Alphino? Are you about? I don't see him anywhere. Crabs didn't get him, right? He's... Is this... It looked like there actually was some kind of wreck down here. Judging from that flotsam. Maybe he already made his way back. I wonder if there'll be many more tasks we'll have to do. I'm all for helping out. Time's not quite on our side. Something about this as well. These structures, the Ondo... They don't look like the Ondo built them. There's definitely conflicting styles here. No sign of Alphino. Y'shtola? Ah. As I suspected. I'll leave her to whatever she's thinking about. You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look. I'd like to think I'm fairly strong at this stage. Oh, I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Pauson. This was to be part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Yeah, the buildings were here before they arrived. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water. Yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the Tempest's turbulent waters, and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers had pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this did they discern the truth. The truth? That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary, until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming and the great vanishing of water was by the ancients' design, you will find a warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance, or otherwise, of our arrival be decided? The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. Right. Well, we're here to help out, I guess. We thank you for the lesson, Pausoen, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. Well, we should return to the task at hand, only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. Right. I don't want to feel like I'm holding everyone else back. Is there much else I can do? There's one exclamation mark I can get rid of. Thank you. Guess I can ask what Y'shtola was wondering about. Y'shtola? Ah, Sorin. Have you learned aught of note? A little. The ruins here were definitely here before the Ondo were. Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Right. Borrow my... I suppose when it comes to vision, Y'shtola might need a hand. She gets along that well, I sometimes forget she can't see things quite as clearly as some of us. But I suppose she sees other things even more clearly. Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement, and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations. Right. Well, what can I see? There's that zigzag pattern on them. Windows, maybe? Yeah. Surprised they aren't broken. They don't look familiar. Oh. Maybe? I don't know. I get the feeling... Look for the the shoe bill appears here? I know the shoe bill appears at a later point in the Tempest. on the... Too late. Oh, sorry to hear things have gotten busy, Mooney. Right, this bit looks like it could be easy to get a chip out of this. Right. Here we go. Like... Oh, that's not budging at all. I would have thought it would give some yield. No wonder these buildings don't seem to have decayed. That is a very shiny rock. Just looking at just realized the reflection in it. Y'shtola? I couldn't get that sample. And what have you discovered? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive, though it seemed the structures appear the same to both your side and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. Not even a flake. Nothing. Sorin. Everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Norvrandt, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. Then, do you think... But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients Diondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emet Selch withdrew here to the Tempest. You think it's... Ascian? He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach. But there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Emet Selch is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap, is a place more dear to him than any other. Dear to him. Then, do you really think it was built by Ascians? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they might have remained untouched for millennia. Right. That's right, the calamities only occur in the source. A copy of the mural in the Quitana Ravel. Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fano, after our victory in Clusia. Right. Here, in the first scene, by Emet Selch's own words, it depicts a city of aeons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? Yeah, those windows at the top definitely seem... Now you point it out, then... We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and moor lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. Right. Should we tell the others, or I guess we head out immediately? over to the northwest. In among the rocks. Let me have another look at that picture. Right. I wonder if it's that green structure in the foreground of the picture. We've seen buildings that look more like the ones in the background. Right. I'm not seeing much of any kind of structure. Wait a moment. Is that... That's not natural. Give me that. What is that supposed to be? That's kind of... It kind of matches, right? Yeah. It's definitely lost any color to it might have had. Hi, this is the mural writ large. What do you think it was? No, I cannot guess at its purpose. It must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder. Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins. Countless layers of dust and sediment. I plan to keep going today until I get to... I do have the end point for today in mind. So I'm probably going to go on a bit later. I don't know if I'll get to quite 3 hours, but I'll at this stage definitely more than 2. An entire civilization. Its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mystery stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus, we can surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emet Selch himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. Right. In the ruins of his own city. It's... For so long I just considered the Asians as who they are. I'd not really thought that they fought back, that they'd had their own civilization, their own people, and we should get back, shouldn't we? But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Hopefully. Shall we head back? Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Pa Sorin again, and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge. Right. I suppose that couldn't do any harm. Back to the village. Oh, careful. That's a long way down. So, at least we found the right place. I have to admit, I was a bit nervous when we came down here that the ocean's a big place. Searching all of it bit by bit. Pass? Hello. Ah, Alfino's friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. I'm glad to hear. I was wondering if, there's anything else I might be able to do to help. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? I'm not sure. Are they over to the northwest by any chance? Yes, that is the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps were guided there by the ancients? Perhaps. I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grinold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Grinold? That's... They were mentioned him back at the Crystarium. He's... here? Under the... How? Why? I guess it's best not to ask and just accept that this is the case. Is that it? A whole tower going up to the surface, and it looks similar to the materials they use at the Crystarium. Hello? Hello? This definitely resembles the Crystarium. So... Hello? Oh, that's just great, that is. Your mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grinold, someone's come to visit ye, at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. So, or might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade. Feast yourself on me rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman with can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a dome and hammer. That's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Hey. Really don't be down on yourself. If you're in a slump, you'll always break out of it at some point. Maybe I can help. Yeah? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would ye, spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the Neverworld. I'm not... You look familiar. Have we met before? Might be as we crossed paths back in the Crystarium, but I don't reckon we've been formally introduced. Name's Grinold, and this here's meant to be me underwater sanctuary. A place where I can give myself over to me work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand. Now what's so damned important that you dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding tempest to bore me? Well, I have a couple of questions, and mainly, the Ondo sent me. The Ondo's lamp. Gods curse me, empty head! I've not so much as made a start! That's not great, but do you think you could? I'm worth less than a sea slug. Need a slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past, me workbench is untouched. I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have ye? Bringing light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I just can't bloody well... your mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I've pissed away me last drop of inspiration. Sir? Tell me you've got someone to show me. Someone else will give me Muse a right good kick up the arse. Something to show you. The Ondo want to honor the common of these ancients, so their answering light's got a blaze of the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of light caught in a crystal, but just being sparkly's not enough. It's got the dance of joy and sorrow and a sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Now it decides to slow down. Crystal. I don't have to... Wait. The crystal of light. I've let the Ondo down, aye, but more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. What? Grinold, have a look at this. What's that you've got there? It's a striking beauty. It shines with me heartache. It shines with heartache and laughter and the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Some co-worker ripped out a dead tree from the parking lot and now... Oh. That doesn't sound good. Aye, I can see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. You'd never capture such a gleam, not if he laboured 100 years. One wheel's just hovering over the dipping car. Ooh. Bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where are me tools, goddamn ye? I must set to work before the feeling fades. Oh, right, that seemed to work. Is there anything I can do to help? I can feel it. A vision forming in me mind. Step aside, lad, and let me itching hands get to work. Right. I guess I just wait. He won against a tree, but at what cost? Yeah. And done. Oh, already? I've taken the wonders that crystal showed me and channeled them into a new shape which befits the Ondo's spiritual character. Oh, that's a... right. Not quite as mobile as I was thinking, but... not a bad job if I do say so myself. Certainly. And to think, I was this close to hanging up my hammer after studying the craft of them ancients. I've been across the length and breadth of Norvrandt, and gobbled up every scrap of craft and wisdom what I could find. But no matter what technique I tried, me work was just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages. That's what drew me here in the first place. I built me workshop, got the forges burning, and lost me bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, or I might never have gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it holds just speak directly to your heart. Aye, I can still feel them coursing through me. The inspiration's not fading away. It's welling up stronger and stronger. Give me the chance and I reckon I can weave the crystal saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgotten the Ondo's commission. If you could drag that lamp over to Tolzaf for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for you to try. Thank you, Grinold. I'll see if I can move this. Ooh, I suppose... Should I get that? What? I can only get Arcanist stuff. Yeah, but no, that's Summoner. I can't equip that. 430, is that? I don't think it's as good as my... I might as well claim the Red Mage stuff while I'm here. Kind of forgot to... Yeah, that was why I kind of wanted to do it at an earlier point in the story, because I feel if I doing it here is kind of odd. Oh, you completely forgot until you got... No, I hadn't been planning on doing the role quests until I think about 4... I think like 4 streams ago, I kind of had that place an armory chest. I don't think I can actually... That'll actually be better than what I've got, though, for Red Mage. We go to Red Mage. Yeah, I've already got the Augmented Deep Shadow, which is 470. Yeah. Retrospectively, I should have gotten it for a different class. I should have done a different role quest. Maybe I should have done ranged DPS. Did anyone need... Ooh, or I should have bought Deep Shadow gear for one of my other classes. I've started getting it for healer. Chief? What is that you have there? It's a lamp from Grinold. The sacred lamp! Then the Finless one has kept his promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the Cups. And now you come to me, bearing the light we had almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the Forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once our prayers have been offered. Right. Thank you. Oh, we get teleport. That's convenient.
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan.
Oh. Our bird.
Did it belong to one of my friends?
It... Yeah, I guess you weren't there for all of that. Sorry,
I tried to give you a measure of privacy. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day.
Thank you, I suppose.
So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal?
Well, a bit of a long story, but guess we've got time.
It was Nilebert's then. Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them.
Does seem like it.
I didn't expect death to teach me so much.
Suppose it must be a little weird.
About them, about Seto, about you, about the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you. To the very end.
Thank you. Glad to have your help.
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
Alphino?
It seems we've succeeded in gaining their trust.
Yeah, it is nice kind of to get those quests. I kind of felt a bit better on my main account because I did all the role quests before this point. And I think I did get a little bit of like extra dialogue, if I remember correctly, from Ardbert. I think I might be wrong, but I feel I remember something happening. But Sorin does plan to do the same for all the others once this is over.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work.
I wish I had the whole group of you more times when I was helping out.
Especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Well, that lamp was heavy.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
Oh yeah, I'm fairly certain you can get all of them before that point, because none of them require you to go to the Tempest, which is the only place that you would be locked out of. It certainly seems that way.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emet Selch was telling the truth.
Nor I. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city.
Yeah, you get first pick of draw. I mean, you don't get first pick, you just get all of them. No, but I think it's just kind of like one line of dialogue that's different. Like the bit where he says, it was Nilebert's den. I think he kind of has a different response if you've collected all of the crystals.
A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
That's... I wonder.
Are you... How are you feeling?
Reen? Oh, I'm... Not doing too badly. I can feel it, but... It's not overwhelming. Not at the moment.
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city.
A whole city?
The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes. Impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
So...
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Thank you. So there really is a whole city down here.
Shall we?
I think we shall. I'm kind of curious to see this. Even if it's as buried as everything here. A whole city. The chieftain has bid me guide your steps to the illuminated land. Come, the way lies downwards. Follow the path of coral and rock, and join your comrades below. Right. Down below. Oh, there's a whole cave down here. Oh, I think I've seen geysers like that at Ocean's territory. I suppose an easy way back if I need it. Everyone? You have everything you need. If that artisan fellow is as skilled as they say, then you may wish to avail yourself of his services ere we press on. I think I'm okay at the moment. Emet Selch is in that trench, and we'll have to assume he's not swimming in salt water. I wouldn't want to suddenly find ourselves at the edge of Bismarck's bubble with no air to breathe. That would be a concern. Emet Selch have made himself difficult to reach, yet every step we take bringeth us nearer to his stronghold. Let us not linger, lest the Exarch suffer for our late arrival. Meeting the Ondo was fascinating. They live just like us in some ways, but act completely different in others. The way they think, the way they play. I'd love to come back here and learn more about their culture. Will the dome last that long, I wonder? I think, unfortunately for the Ondo, the dome is indefinite. During the time I've spent helping the Ondo, I've been introduced to quite a few of the local varieties of sea life. Although sea monsters is mayhap the more apt term. They're probably best to avoid them if we can. We've got enough distractions on our plate. All are gathered, yes. Then I shall describe the path you must take. Enter the cavern beyond, and follow the wall down and down and down. Once at the bottom, find a passage to the northwest, then continue west and west and west. The way is not simple. Keep your friends within shouting distance, and do not stray into the deep. Just before the journey's end, you will find the Caliban Gap, and the barrier we placed at its mouth. The obstacle will fade should you raise a hand towards it. We have made it so. A most succinct explanation. We thank you for your guidance. Well... Right. Deeper into the depths we go. Right. Thank you. Another step closer to Emet Selch. Okay, combat doesn't actually change the music here. That's interesting. Right. I'll maybe not risk a jump. You're not considering the quick way down, are you, Reen? The rocks and coral bunch up by the cavern wall like a staircase of sorts. But be careful. You wouldn't want to slip from up here. I wouldn't be too worried. I seem to have quite a sturdy pair of ankles. Definitely going deeper. I suppose that's what he said. Down and down and down. And then west and west and west. Rena, imagine we'd be too scared to me. Oh, what? After her performance in... Dunfaf? Dunfwaf? What's it? Wait, what's the name of that dungeon again? Dunme... Don't... How have I forgotten the name of it? I'd wager these bursts of water could carry you clear to the top again. Not that I'm eager to try it. I wouldn't be surprised. I need to check now. Don Meg. Okay, Don Meg. Where's it go? Please leave me alone. I guess I can afford to fight one bug. Oh, you're not a bug, are you? I'm too used to playing EDF recently. Every enemy is a bug. Right. Sorry about that, Orianche. I appreciate your help. Our guide bade us travel to the cavern floor and thence to the west. It would seem these twisting tunnels defy such simple instruction. Rather than rely on direction alone, I suggest we scout with care and relay the path ahead to those who come behind. Right. I guess that's a plan. Right. This must be the trench. Y'shtola hath forged ahead. Shall we continue our own advance? Right. Can't go west, so I guess south? Where's Y'shtola? Is that a bridge, maybe? The rock drops off sharply here. I should think this coral thick enough to serve as a bridge. Right. Should be. I'll just not fall off. It's a little slippy and slimy. Do not like the squelchy. More creatures. Is that a shipwreck as well? I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised to find wrecks at the bottom of the ocean. I don't see anyone else. Oh, wait. Alphino. Ah, Sorin. You have a choice of two routes from here. You can either take the long way to the south along the rocks, or skip across this coral branch as Altair has done. I, for one, shall be following my sister's example. Don't think they're smooth because they're kind of porous looking. Yeah. I suppose. That almost to me looks like kind of a reflection of water from the surface, though. Right. I suppose the quick way is the best way. Whoa. Okay. Oh. You made it across safely then, Alphino? Not to it. Alice has already gone on ahead. We should catch up to her. Alright, I'll see you there when you've calmed down a little. Still going deeper as well. How far up? How far down have we come already? Where's Alize? I see something over there. Alize? There you are. Come on. I think I found the tunnel we were looking for. Oh. Right. Went over this way, so maybe I did see the right thing. Oh. Looks like there's rays down here. That definitely looks like some kind of barrier. Yeah. This has to be it, right? Alice? Here. This must be the barrier Diondo spoke of. Certainly seems like it. Well, that was rather more arduous than expected. I feel a sudden rush of gratitude for the smooth roads our ancestors cut through the wilderness. It was a bit of a rough journey. It was a treacherous path indeed. Now, I believe one of us needs but raise a hand to banish this next obstacle. Sorin, I elect you to do the honors. Right. Easy enough. Just raise my hand. Like this. Oh. That seems to have worked. Come on, just like that. I suppose we should head in. Right. Nearly there. Like as not, this tunnel will be just as perilous as the road we walked to get here. Let's all stay aware of our surroundings, shall we? Oh. Further in. Oh, you're turning around. I want to try and avoid fights. Don't look at me. Never mind. I'm just gonna keep walking. I don't want to talk to people. Don't look at the other scions. You're gonna... You okay, Rain? That is a very long drop. Please, no heroic jumps over the edge, Sorin. I don't think my heart could take it. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Rain. Up. Sorry, Fankred, give me a moment. The wildlife has not been friendly. Worse. Keela, do you want to help out? Ooh. These guys hurt. Hey. If I wasn't a healer, I feel I'd be in danger. Can't even really use Earthly Star at this point. I feel like more likely to aggro more things. Why do you have to put Vanguard so close? I'm not trying to aggro everything. There we go. Nay, I'd not want to chance that leap. Hugging the Norvrandt wall on the way down seems the wiser proposition. Yeah. Seems to be the case. Why are none of the other Scions getting attacked? Oh, no. I'm just going to ignore you two, because you're not standing near a friend. Oh, excuse me. Are those luminescent skeleton? Urianger, why do you have to be standing close to... Can my friends not be within aggro range of enemies? Can I just let you go back to... How... Come on. There you go. Back to where you want. Let me talk to my friends. Oh, of course. Why did you turn around immediately? This button... The point in the story when I'm most invested in talking to all my friends. There we go. Where thy foot falls, my friend, our road taketh us ever onwards unto ever deeper darkness. Right. Well, darkness is certainly one word. I suppose darkness has in a way always been the goal since arriving here. Just pop that. Oh. Alice, what? What is...
By the gods.
This is the city of the Asians? It's huge. And
when the Ondo spoke of a city, I did not think they meant an actual city.
Then we are seeing the same view.
Y'shtola?
The remnants in the Ondo settlement were solid material structures. But these... Everything here pulses with ether. 'Tis an enchantment on a monumental scale.
Wait, an enchantment? One cannot blame the Ondo for fleeing the spectacle of these brooding edifices. We, however, have not the luxury of fear. Emet Selch holds the Exarch captive somewhere within that vast city. Yet even if we must search every alleyway, We will find them. Alizé? When the chieftain spoke of lights shining from the abyss, this is not at all what I imagined. Why would Emet Selch do this? You'd think all those tall, dark buildings would be frightening, but for some reason they just make me feel sad. It's big, I'll grant you, but cluttered city streets are far more conducive to infiltration than wide open spaces. This will work to our advantage. Trust me. Right. Y'shtola? Sorin, did you note the style of the architecture? 'Tis the same used for the remnants of the cups and the murals painted towers. Headcanon that Seri felt a little homesick to see our... Oh. Yeah, that's... I'm... Not a bad play. Emet Selch has not simply reclaimed these ruins. He has layered the semblance of an entire city upon them. Gods, the magnitude of his artifice is staggering. Though it pains me to admit, we did not fully understand the feats of what an old-world Ascian is capable. No. I'm gonna take my spell speed, I think. I'm not gonna use those. The end of a world. But that is where I plan on finishing this stream. There we go. Amarot. So, next stream for Sorin's journey, I plan to be the end of Shadowbringers. That would mean the finale would be a long one. Yeah, the finale was going to be a long one regardless, and I'm perfectly happy for that to be the case. I just know that once I move forward to this point, I'm not going to want to stop. So I either end it here, I either finish the stream here, or I finish Shadowbringers here. Those are the only two choices. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted to just say I'll be back to Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow. I might actually do that. Just do it tomorrow and not... normally I try and alternate what games I play. But, you know, Final Fantasy XIV didn't get any streams last week. And... I want the end of Shadowbringers. Can't wait for the finale, yep. So yeah, I will... Yeah, I'm gonna call it out. I will be back on... back to Final Fantasy tomorrow. So then, probably... Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday will definitely be Persona 3 then. I won't have 3 Final Fantasy XIV streams in a row. Especially because... Yeah, if I'm having the finale next time, I'll give it at least a day of a break. I am... the hype is already building. So, yeah. This week I'm only streaming the 2 games. I might on Thursday do like a one-off. I might do a little bit more EDF or just put on something for fun. Because I'm not a fan of doing games where I'm making a big time commitment during my afternoon streams. yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing the after effects of now we've rescued Fuga. But that's also why I'm kind of more confident this week doing a long-term game in one of my afternoon slots, because I know I've just finished a main story beat, like we've had the Emperor and Empress boss Arcana battles. So I feel it's going to be a more chill stream. I imagine we'll see what happens when Fuka's recovery. We'll see her join the team. We'll possibly see Mitsuru join the team as a frontline member. But otherwise, I imagine it'll probably be mainly social links and maybe a little bit of Tartarus. Yeah, all of that will be all of that will be tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Wednesday. Tomorrow is Shadowbringers. So, with all that said, if you did enjoy and you'd like to see more, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, you can follow me on Twitch. But regardless of what you decide to do, wonder when the actual film is. Oh, I'm quite curious as well. The actual villain. I feel we're getting closer to something in Persona 3, but I'm getting distracted. So yeah, regardless, I do hope you enjoyed, and my mind's gone blank. Mooney, you've made me forget my outro. Thank you so much for coming along and watching. That was it. And until next time I stream, have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye. And I'll let you all leave to the sounds of Neath Dark Waters.
You